Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Cooped Up with Coffee. I actually have coffee that is not cold this time, and my allergies are not as bad as they were last week. So I am functional and my face isn't as puffy, thank God. We have Maggie from Greater Than Games with us today, and two wonderful volunteers for Greater Than Games that do, well, I guess you guys aren't are you volunteers? What is your classification? They are demoers.
So they're contract workers, actually, yeah, demoers. So every time they represent Greater Than Games at a function like HeroCon or Gen Con, it's a contract worker situation, which is new to us. I think we started doing that in 2018, maybe 2019.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know that they are really good, and they're always pushing for the games, even when they're not, you know, doing stuff in an official capacity. They're always like, you know, I don't know. I was super impressed with both of them when they've come up to our store a couple times, and of course you have too. And before you were Greater Than Games, Maggie, yeah.
yeah.
You got to visit us. So if you guys are when you're watching, you can also you can hear. Dan, did I forget to specify did I forget to add the title to that? Because I don't feel like there's a title on that. I think when I share it, I can fix it, but yeah, I don't know. I might have done something weird this time. Anyway, me and computers. Wow, it's bad. It's real bad. So what's going on with you guys? I mean, obviously there's a global pandemic going on, and you guys are pretty. I can fix it, but.
Sorry for the echo. I'm gonna try and fix it here.
I might have done something weird this time. Anyway, me and computers. Wow, yeah, that is weird, Dan.
Give me a second. I'll try and kick the echo out.
So what's going on with you guys? I mean, you can hear. Obviously, there's a global pandemic going on, and you guys are pretty. I'm just gonna drink the coffee while I listen to myself echo.
Fix it here.
I might have done something weird this time. Anyway, me and computers. Wow, yeah, that is weird. Dan.
Yeah, we've got a big delay. I've muted the Greater Than people for just a minute while we get the voice caught up.
Okay. I'm just gonna drink the coffee while I listen to myself echo.
I think there's somebody. I think we probably need better use of head from. I've muted the Greater Than people for just a minute while we get the voice caught up.
Oh my God. We are having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, Mandy, if you try putting headphones.
One, I don't have any headphones, and two, I haven't had any issues until this time, so I don't think it's me. Because I am only hearing it from one end. Like, I think those of you that are watching, that are also, like, on Discord, that may be where that feedback is coming from. So, because I'm recording. One, I don't have any headphones. Two, I haven't had any issues. I don't. Because I am only hearing it from end. You guys can make comments via text. Also, like on Discord, that may be where that feedback is coming from. So, because I'm recording. Dan, why don't you turn off your microphone? Because everything that I'm hearing is coming from the computer.
I've muted mine. So I think we need to all either be watching live or be on Discord, and it's better on Discord because the audio is more up to date there. So let's try this once more.
Dan, you're still not muted.
And okay, let's try this now. I think we're all back.
Jacqueline is not unmuted, and you are.
Nope, everybody's unmuted now.
Okay. All right. All right. So anyway, hi Juan. Yes, there are robot parrots going on. So anyway, we got that figured out. I think we will. More people will pop in. I did invite people, so hopefully, like I said, I forgot to put the tagline on it though. So I might have to go back out. Gosh, this is awful. Okay, sorry. All right, Maggie. So, I mean, how has this affected you guys? Are you playing like games via? I mean, yeah. How are you coping?
So it's definitely affected us. The major thing that's weird for us is that a lot of distribution shut down. So our company is we were not focused on our website and our web store being the main functionality. We were more convention driven and distribution driven and retailer driven. And those were the three things that are like very uncertain right now.
Yeah.
So that was a problem. And so like right now I am refreshing my e-commerce skills and getting some of those things back online. And we're working through that section of life, which is totally separate from, we're also doing live streams. So we're trying to connect with the community by doing live streams. We do 3 a week throughout the month of April. And then we're going to evaluate where we're at and determine if we increase, decrease, stay the same with that schedule when we go into May, just because it is hard for me to do 3 live streams a week because I actually still meet with our distribution partners, and I still run teams of people, and my teams still have projects to work on because we're trying to function as normally as possible, while still recognizing that like projects are definitely going to get delayed, games are going to get delayed. Most of the games that I'm talking about are games that haven't been announced yet, that we just have in our heads that we were planning, that are now going to be affected. And then a few people who have backed our Kickstarters will recognize that like we're updating timelines as we go, and as we hear from our factories and as we learn what the situation will be in our warehousing. But for the most part, we're a functioning company. Like we are a functioning company, but it's just like a ripple effect of where it's going on. So
sure. So do you think like some of the stuff that that you were working on before is going to have it's like going to be even more streamlined and even better because you guys are getting to practice and test them out more and getting more feedback with everyone, or are you guys, is it so focused on?
Yeah, it really depends on the project. Some of them were very time sensitive, and so the time sensitive projects still have to either get done on time or we have to meet with a lot of people to reevaluate the schedule. And those projects specifically were all in-house, so we didn't have any, we haven't planned on any outside playtesting, and so that means that like it's actually strictly worse for us now that we can't be together to do stuff. But then for other projects that we had backburnered for like 2021, we're now looking at bringing back up because we can do so much of it with the community. So yes and no. And it really just depends on what we're looking at. But we're trying to focus on those more community-driven games where we can. I mean, sometimes, like I said, we have a strict deadline we have to meet.
Sure.
And so with those ones, we're just figuring it out as we go. But for the other ones, we're like, okay, what can we put on Tabletop Simulator? How can we engage with our playtesting community? Should we add to our playtesting community? Those are all questions that we're figuring out right now.
So Greg and Jacqueline, are you guys also using Tabletop Simulator? And how easy is it for someone like me who can barely function my phone to get into?
So I've got used Tabletop Simulator before this all went down, and I've started learning more and more as I grab various games and go, oh, it's missing this component. Let's add that component. And then a friend of ours, they used to do a weekly Arkham game. And we said, okay, we want to keep going with that. So let's do this. Let's get a bunch of us together and let's live stream this on Twitch and let's play Arkham every week.
That's very cool. And I know you were getting people to play Arkham via our Discord channel too. So anything that you guys mention here, if you want to drop it in Discord in the community or something to like a link or whatever, so that people can watch or check into it later, feel free to do that at any time. Okay, because this hobby is what's bringing us together, right? So I mean, and has always. So Greg and Jacqueline, are you? You're in different areas right now, right? But you're both still working regular jobs, or?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's so essential people there. Well, be safe. All right. So, Greg said that he could. Hi, everybody that's dropping in now. Greg said that Juan said that he could hear us pretty well. So hopefully that continues. So anyway, so I know that you guys are playing some other things too. You were running a Sentinels RPG, which is excellent, by the way. If you guys haven't tried Sentinels RPG, I only have the starter. The full book isn't out yet, right? Anyone?
Correct, yeah. The full book does not come out until later this year. It is still on BackerKit to be late pledged for, and we are chugging right through that. So I don't remember what our updated timeline is right now, but it is coming out this year. So in a few months, actually, or like it's coming out over summer, but I can't remember the exact time over summer.
Sure. Do we know, do you know if, or can you tell us this, if there will be, like, is there a way to make your own characters in that, or are you still using the Sentinels characters?
Yes, you can make your own characters. You can also play with pre-generated characters. So I've been in 2 campaigns so far. Just 2 campaigns that were like I made my character and everything. No, 3 actually. I've been in a lot of campaigns.
Especially now, right? You're like,
yeah. I'm thinking through it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's more than that. 2 of which that were on our YouTube channel, which I dropped the link in chat. So if anyone wants to check that out, you can also find our pre-generated, our hero creation and our 2 campaigns. I created wildly different characters, and we walked through the process of character creation in it. Of course, once the book comes out, we'll go over in more detail. But we tried to make sure that those tools were available before it even came out, so people could see, oh, this is the type of game it is, this is how it works, and this is like whether or not you might be interested in it. Because we have a lot of really amazing fans who love Sentinels, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you love RPGs, but we hope that you love ours.
So it's funny because like I really love RPGs, and Sentinels is a cooperative card game for all of you watching. If you don't know that, that's what it is, and it is superhero themed. So you are a group of superheroes, and you have a lot of choices. There are a lot of superheroes in the box that you can play, and they all have their own unique powers and abilities and things, and you get together to fight the bad guy. So the RPG, I had received the starter from Greater Than Games to run, and I'm not big into superhero role-playing. I might not always play whatever, because I love role-playing games, but I will say it is one of the easiest, most streamlined systems I have seen, and I'm definitely the kind of person that, like, I have a hard time if... Once upon a time, I would run anything and play anything. Now I'll play anything, but I'm not going to run anything, just anything, because it's too hard for me to, like, remember all the rules and I start mixing things up and everything. But man, Sentinels is really good. And the fact that they added a way to make your own characters is really phenomenal. That was one of the things that I was like really hoping for. So
yeah, I describe Sentinels as a mid-octane rules-light role-playing system. So I come from a background of playing D&D all the way through first edition through 5th edition. I've played Heroes, I've played GURPS. I like me crunchy role-playing systems.
you're not old enough for all that, Greg.
You'd be surprised. But when this came out, I'm like, eh. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, this is fantastic. It's as much as role-playing isn't the GM versus the players, there's some of that. Whereas this, there's a lot less of that. And it's a lot of fun. And
It's really good.
So they've released some files to backers. So some backers have gotten a chance to go through their character creation. And then at Gen Con, Dave Chalker, one of the main writers, was doing it. So they have two different ways of doing it. You can go in with an idea and build that idea.
I think Maggie has a super clicky clicky keyboard. Sorry.
So you go through a series of 4 charts and roll up some options, and those options, you get to the first couple, and you're like, okay, I got an idea who this is. Then you get the third one, you're like, okay, now I really know who this character is. And it's just so much fun. And then one of the things they tell you to do after you're done going through and picking all the stuff is then go through that entire sheet you just made and then rename everything on that sheet instead of just being the thing from the book to something unique for your character.
Yeah, sure. I think Cortex made the mistake of not allowing you to make your own characters, and not that it's not a fun system, because it is. I do feel like Cortex more than, well, they kind of were going for like, oh, it's not GM versus. Have you played Cortex at all? Have any of you played Cortex, I guess?
I have not.
Okay. Well, they were going for that, but Sentinels nailed it. And it's like, and then allowing people to make their own characters, that's really spectacular. But that was one of the things that they couldn't wrap their heads around, people wanting to play. It was Marvel based, so they couldn't wrap their heads around people wanting to play a character that they created instead of Captain America or whatever, and so that was one of the fatal flaws. But I also do feel like the system itself wound up feeling a little bit, to me at least, it did kind of feel like no matter what you did, there was always like, victory was very bittersweet, I guess. And as far as I can tell with Sentinels, that's just not the case. The worse things get for your heroes, you actually get more powers, and you get, or stronger powers, I guess. And so it feels very much like you can kind of loosen up and enjoy the experience instead of worrying about, every little detail about, even like if you're overwhelmed and everything, it winds up balancing pretty well. But it's definitely like skewed more toward the player, I think, and so it's more focused on the role playing aspect and just being able to embody that superhero persona, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. I mean, it depends on the build that you go with for your character, so your health will vary and the way that your character is built, but for the most part, that's definitely true. I've never played a game where I'm super worried about getting knocked out. Even though I have gotten knocked out. So
yeah.
But that's still not even the worst thing that can happen, because you will always have incapacitated powers, and they really do help you with the game. So versus like some RPGs that I played, when you're knocked out, you're just basically like, okay, I sit here and then like I do this one thing every time.
Yeah, I mean, waiting for 30 minutes or longer to be able to take a turn or whatever is not at, like, I mean, for some people, like, they don't bother, they're not bothered, I can't talk, they're not bothered by that, or they're not bothered by, you know, oh, well, you know, my character died 3 weeks in a row, my character's died or whatever, but for me, I don't know, it's always been kind of more about the role-playing aspect and the story, and I personally think, and like I said, it's superhero stuff. For me to say that, it's like, because superhero games are not my general forte, but I definitely think the system is really good. So yeah, and with that starter kit, if you guys do want to check it out, you get several and different sessions out of that, and they're all broken down by comic books. Really cool, really cool. And if you love superhero games, you'll love this. So, so what else do you want to talk about? What else you guys got going on? Jacqueline, you're really quiet.
We just released 2 video games, actually. Well, we didn't release them, our digital partners did. So Spirit Island is now digital, and there is a new Sentinels of the Multiverse digital game called Sentinels of Freedom. It takes place after, so if anyone in the audience is a big Sentinels fan, it is a comic book arc. There's a story being told throughout every game, and then the big cataclysmic event happens, and it's called Oblivion. After Oblivion, there is that's where that is where the comic book or the role-playing game takes off, essentially. And this video game is post-Oblivion as well, during some of the cleanup phases. So if you're interested in that, it's called Sentinels of Freedom, and it was just released on Steam for PC, but it will be coming to Switch and Xbox and a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember all the ones it's coming to.
That's exciting.
Play video games.
Yeah.
So, and then Spirit Island is similarly coming to multiple devices, but right now is only available through early access on PC for Steam.
Tell me, I want the insider info. How do I win Spirit Island?
Just the game in general.
Yes.
Good luck. I can speak to that if you want, maybe.
I mean, there's no
suck.
like right or wrong answer. You can speak to it if you want to, but the best way that I always tell people is take it slow, and usually playing with an experienced player if you're new to the game is helpful, but also just like really slow rolling it, playing like one spirit on one island, and like considering all of your options, reading through your choices carefully, is my recommendation. Greg, you can speak to it if you'd like to.
So my advice, especially to first-time players, is especially your first 2 or 3 games, don't worry about winning. Play the game, learn the mechanics, learn the flow. Because once you get a handle for that, then you can start making better decisions. Once you get into the game,
Glad you love it.
use the invader actions to kind of guide you, but don't hyper-focus on them. Like, too many players, like especially with our group, me, Jacqueline, and our housemate, we used to hyper-focus on preventing every single blight. And that's not usually the best option you have. Yes, blight's a terrible resource to use, but it is a resource.
I just want to. I want to be able to win, and every time I play that, I'm like, I just die. I don't know. I just don't. I can't annihilate those humans fast enough. Anyway.
Also, picking spirits that play towards your gaming style will help you a lot. So I'm pretty sure I've never lost a game of Spirit Island, but I also haven't played a lot of really hard versions. Like, I haven't played against a whole lot of adversaries, and I'm genuinely playing with very skilled people who really love the game. So I'm always playing with somebody that's like very invested. and that helps me. But I also
And
choose to
game
play,
designers and stuff.
Yeah, so I choose to play the faster hitting ones. I like being a tank, and I either like being a tank or I like being very like melee and dealing a lot of damage. And so I try to pick characters that are spirits that play to like the way that I want to play, so
Sure.
that I'm not sitting there being frustrated that I can't do the thing that I want to do. Which like most of the spirits will allow you to experience like the same thing but different ways, and sometimes it might take you a while to rev them up. And I am not a patient person, so I like
Me
playing
neither.
Lightning Swift. Yeah, I play Lightning's Swift Strike a lot. I play Heart of the Wildfire. Basically, like the big ones that do a lot of damage, but also can be very like damage. They damage the island also, except for Lightning Swift Strike does. But so I have to make sure that I balance that out with everyone else, because like my group knows how I play.
I think you guys should do, you should have a night where you watch Moana and play Spirit Island. If you haven't seen Moana,
themed event.
yeah. If you haven't seen Moana, Disney's Moana, even if you're an adult and don't have children, it's totally okay. Anyway.
It's a very good movie. You should just watch it.
It's really good.
I'd say Princess Mononoke is another option as well.
Sure. I mean, both of them have that like really good mythology that kind of fits in with Spirit Island, don't they? So yeah, check it out. Have a movie and game night. Yeah.
We will actually be live streaming a playthrough of Spirit Island Digital on Wednesday.
Cool.
And we're about to put up a poll today on Twitter to ask people to pick our spirits that we play, because there are 8 spirits that are available. And so we'll pick the top 3 and we'll play those. And we'll see how it goes.
They're going to give you the hardest ones.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what people do, because they're like, obviously you guys are experts, which is a very funny thing to do. Because, like, an example, Jen, our creative director and COO, she was, like, in charge of the art direction on this entire game, worked on it for a very long time. This game was, like, the Kickstarter and everything, like, all of that took a very, very long time to put together. And so she was like, I'm not playing this game. I don't want to play this game for like a year. Not because she doesn't love the game, but because it's just a lot. Like when you're that close to the project,
But you just had this
to want to then go back and play it.
If you
and
have
so
that really
people,
frustrating,
that she must be an expert because she put together so much of it. But there's a lot that you don't like unless you're playing the game. You don't get that experience, and sometimes you just don't want to play the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you get like super salty. You're like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm
like,
over it.
I've got a game. We have a game that's an upcoming release called Legends of Sleepy Hollow, and that would be my version of this. Where like, I love the game. I worked really hard on the game. We're at like the finish line with this game, but because we put so much time into it, I'm like, I'm not gonna play this game until like a year after it comes out.
Sleepy Hollow. That sounds exciting. What kind of game is it? Are you allowed to talk about it?
Sleepy Hollow is it's kind of a dungeon crawl. So the original idea from the game designers was that it would be like a video game where you're going through different levels and you're leveling up characters as you go. And so it's like it says, it takes place in the town of Sleepy Hollow, and you're playing one of 4 legends trying to solve the mystery of what happened to Ichabod Crane. So it picks up where the story leaves off. And so you're trying to find him, and you're going through the town, and you're running into all types of bad guys, including the Headless Horseman. That is not a spoiler. That's just a given.
Right.
But you have a few different types of baddies that you're going to fight, and your character will evolve as you go. And they also have, they evolve their skill sets, but you can also pick particular paths for them. So you might pick a path that is more of a healer or more of a this or a that, and every character has 3 different paths. So there's a lot. There was like a lot of okay, we have to test this path. Okay, we have to test that path. Okay, we have to test that path. Okay, we have to test these 3 paths with those 4 paths. How do they interlock? Do all the powers still make sense? Is anyone too strong? Is anyone not strong enough? How many different scenarios can we go through, all while being already behind. So there was a lot of like figuring out the best way to test things while also doing mental math to make sure that we like met our deadlines. So
Sure. Is it cooperative then?
Oh yes, sorry.
So fully cooperative?
It's fully cooperative. There is a character who has some special things that are they're not. I can't really talk about them. It's a little secrety.
No, it's okay.
But they're not like we don't make the characters be non-cooperative. So like you can choose to tell as that character if you're playing them, you can choose whether or not you tell your story.
Sure.
Or like the parts of your story that could be kept secret, it could be not kept secret. That is up to you. So it is fully cooperative.
So you could even like add a little bit of RPG element to it if you wanted to with your play group.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Awesome.
like we definitely did a lot of that where we're like, this is the thing that's a little goofy. One testing, I always played like the same character or the same two characters if I had to run two characters. And so you get like very invested in them and in their stories. And so you're like the person that knows that character best then.
Mm-hmm.
And so suddenly you like actually care about like, nope, I can't say that on a card because like they would never do that. That's just not true.
Right. So have Greg and Jacqueline got to play this at all? Play tested at all?
Yes. Question mark. Have you guys?
I played the original Sleepy Hollow back in the first setup of it. I have not played. I've looked at and watched through the playtesting stuff on the new one, but I've not printed it off and played it yet.
It's a big commitment, so I don't blame you.
A lot of ink, or
yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of stuff.
I love that a lot of places have said, oh, well, we'll give you this free print and play, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody can get ink cartridges because that's not essential. So, like, good luck.
I know. We did release some free print and plays also, and yeah, like, or if you're me, I don't have a printer at home. I don't know where I'm going to print that off at, but I know that that's not the case for everybody, and so hopefully some people have been able to enjoy this.
Yeah.
We released print and plays for Spirit Island Jagged Earth, so the upcoming expansion that releases later this year. We released at least one Spirit for print and play. And then
Very cool.
Medium, which is our mind reading party game that's been doing really, really well. It's a party game, so it's kind of hard to do a social party game when you can't be around people.
I have not played Medium. I know that, was it last year at Origins, I think, that there was like, I mean, it was just gone. It was like, everybody played that. Okay, Gen Con.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so it released at Gen Con and it sold out on Friday, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so which was great. I mean, it was great, but it was also terrible. I always want people to get games, but also like, that's very good. That's a good way to be like, how good is this game?
Maybe.
It sold out Friday of Gen Con.
Yeah.
So
we sold out like Friday of PAX East, or Unplugged, I mean.
Wow.
Yeah. We were very lucky, and the Shut Up and Sit Down guys played it during their live show. And so then immediately people just went down onto the floor and bought it, and we sold out really, really fast.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, we were already on track to sell out, but that was like, whoa. And then, what was the other thing? So we released these at a distance rules. So it's ways to play it basically like over chat, over like a Zoom call or a Google Hangouts or whatever you're using, over Discord, where you have everyone's video up and you can the hard part is like there's a timing issue where you are supposed to guess at the same time. That gets really tricky when when you're not face to face, or when like Discord's picking up my mic, not Mandy's mic.
Right.
So that was a tricky thing. So we were like, what can we do? You can type it in chat. You can write it on a dry erase board. You can do this. And then like, how does that affect scoring? Should that affect scoring? Because we all don't have the same tokens in front of us. So we released a set of rules that kind of address those issues. After we played it, we tried to play it live, and we were like, there are some things that are very tricky about this.
Cool. Okay, so
rules.
Some people are have popped in since then. So we've talked about the Sentinels Comics RPG. She was just talking about Medium, which is a party game, and they are at Greater Than Games trying to, or they have come up with some rules for how to play a party game when you're quarantined. And there's all kinds of links going on here, so I can't see really well on my phone because I have an iPhone 5C, I think, Maggie. In case no one knew this, I am streaming on an iPhone that is older than dirt. And we talked about Spirit Island. We really haven't touched on the other things, but is there anything else you want to mention? And is anybody in the audience, do you want to ask anything from my Greater Than Games people? And that'll take them a few minutes to catch up, so if you have anything else that you wanted to talk about specifically.
I will say, to touch back on Sentinels of Freedom, it is a very good game. That has been my game since it released. I'm just working my way through missions and stuff. It's a lot of fun. You get to create yourself a hero that battles with, these Sentinels characters that Unity and Tachyon and Bunker, and you get to interact with them. It's very interesting and fun.
And so how can people get Sentinels of Freedom?
It's on Steam.
Yeah, I'll drop a link.
Okay.
They're actually Sentinels of Freedom and Spirit Island, the video game, are both on Steam. They're both 15% off right now. Mm-hmm. So get them while they're hot or whatever. Cool. And I haven't had a chance to play Sentinels of Freedom yet. That will work its way into my gaming. I don't play a lot of video games until now.
Well, because you just got thrown into it, right? So.
Yeah.
It's a very tactical game. If you like tactics, like Fire Emblem or
I love
Final
Fire
Fantasy
Emblem
Tactics. So it's very tactical.
I love Fire
what
Emblem.
I like about it.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out. I love Fire Emblem. So definitely, that's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, we talked about Sentinels of Freedom, which I keep on, I don't think I mentioned the first time, so, but yes, there's the link. Maggie just put it in there. Yay! And Spirit Island, I see it popping up. Yay! Very cool.
The other thing, we have, all our products are on sale on our web store right now, so if you aren't able to get something through your retailer, your retailer should let me know. So that's for you guys. Let me know if you can't find anything in stock somewhere, or if you're having any issues with supply chain. We do sell direct to retailers, so hit me up.
Okay, we'll do.
And also, we do have our web store is now open and receiving orders, and everything is 10 to 25% off. The entire Sentinels line is 25% off right now. And Spirit Island is, I think, also 25% off right now.
Wow.
There's only, I think there's only 1 or 2 games that are 10% off, and it's because we were we have a very low amount of these. So
we are. I checked yesterday just to make sure we are out of Spirit Island. So and I think we have Sentinels, and then we have Oblivion on our web store, and the Sentinels comic starter set. We have that on our web store, but bottom of the ninth.
Which is a great game.
Yeah.
It's an awesome 2-player game. So if you're stuck at home it's an awesome 2-player game. You can play it on a live stream if you wanted to. And if you're stuck at home with your spouse or your friend or your kid or whatever, it's a very good energy game.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute blast. I have had so much fun demoing that game at various things. I did an event at the State Museum here, and his dad came up with his 2 kids who were in their baseball uniform. And I'm like, come over here, play this game. And they immediately fell in love.
It's a game that it's been out for at least 5 years, and it's sold out at Gen Con.
Yeah, it's incredibly popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and man, and you guys don't have like a lot of games, but the games that you have definitely have a quality to them and everything that people are in love with. So, Fate of the Elder Gods is the one that I don't have a demo for. I don't have. Okay, Jason Chestnut asked, I can't remember, can you do Sentinels solo against an enemy? I think you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can solo mode it, but
It's one of those things you definitely can. You're running all of the characters yourself, so it's a little harder depending on what type of gamer you are. Like, you got to be a detailed person, and I am not that detailed. But there is a Sentinels card game app, like an app on the web store, or an app for your phone, and also for your PC. That I can also link. It's from Handelabra Games. I think it's on sale too.
It is.
So they're the people that are doing the Spirit Island one. Also, they've been like a long time friend and partner of ours. So yeah, it's totally on sale.
poor Jason. He said he's stuck at home alone, so like how's he gonna like he's got to figure out some ways to play these games. But she just did send you some links for Steam games, so you can check that out, Jason. Sorry about that.
Poor Jason.
Poor
Jason,
Jason.
I am also stuck alone at my house, so I would really recommend checking
Try
out
to get the
Tabletop
dog to
Simulator.
play with you.
Yeah, if you check out Tabletop Simulator, there are games that are just open where like people have like open servers, so you can just join them. Also, like if you can get any of your friends to join, they will play with you. Probably there. If they won't, I'll play with you. Probably there. Like there are options. I'll
Jason,
figure it out.
Maggie from Greater Than Games is gonna play Sentinels with you if you can't find anyone else. Get
I
him.
have it. I'm
He's
not
a
very good at
nurse.
it. Like
He's a nurse, so he's essential, and he's at
Oh,
home
no.
alone, and then he's working like 60 hours a week or more, I'm sure. So, yeah. So when he gets home, he wants to play something, and he's been playing Magic when he can with us. You have plenty of friends, Jason. You just don't have ones that live with you. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, Fate of the Elder Gods. I've had Maggie at the store. We've had Jacqueline at the store. We've had Greg at the store. I have hi Andy. Good morning. And they have all demoed this game in some capacity, and I still never got a chance to play it. So the boys have played it, but I haven't. So that's the one that I really want to play that I have not got to play. But you know.
So next time
Hi, Tyler.
I'm at Elkhart, Mandy, we'll have to play Fate of the Elder Gods.
Yes, I have to actually like not be demoing 6 other games on my own, and then yeah, and
That one I know, Greater Than Games released a social distancing post on the forums about games that are on Tabletop Simulator, and that's one of
Oh yeah,
that's
I
also
can
one of
send.
the ones that I'm working on adding the expansion.
I forgot that we did that. Yeah, I released a post that's called "How to Game While You Can't Hang," because people let me name stuff. It's a statement.
Oh, my dogs have spotted a squirrel. I may have to close the door. Hi, Mitch. Hi, Ray. I don't.
There's like a 50-50 chance I taught you Sentinels.
Hi,
I
Diana.
don't think so. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been like quite a while ago. So, but maybe.
Yeah.
Or if you were at a convention, it's possible that she might have taught you there. But.
That's pretty rare that I actually run the demos for Sentinels
Yeah.
and Multiverse, just because there are so many people that know it. Like, all of our demo staff knows that game the best. And so it's like, if I'm going to teach something, it has to be like the new game that no one's had a chance to play, or something like that. But there's always a chance.
Yeah, Maggie used to do demos not just for Greater Than, but before Greater Than, you were Plaid Hat, right? You did some demos for Plaid Hat?
I had done some demos for Plaid Hat at conventions,
So-
but mostly it was Greater Than. I've also, like, I did some stuff with brain games, and Kava, just like little demoing projects, like, honestly, like, for the month before I got hired at Greater Than Games.
Right.
So, like,
right.
not for very long,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
but I got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your charisma helps too, Maggie. you're
I tried.
you're really if you guys haven't met Maggie, she has been to the store, but she is like super sweet and if you probably have met Jacqueline and Greg more recently because they were at the Hall of Heroes Comic-Con and then they came back up for Halloween. So yeah. I remember a demo at the store and it was a lady and it wasn't me. Okay, Jason, it was probably Kristen. It was probably Kristen. So, yeah.
Yeah, Maggie has high charisma stats.
Yeah, she does. It's good. It's good. You gotta play to your strengths. That's what it is. Like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I still have more people popping in. Hi guys, we're with Greater Than Games. If you have any questions, ask them now, because I don't know how long I got them here. They're like, they're busy people.
It's also like, it's 8 here, 8:40.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's totally fine. I mean, what was I gonna do instead? So, like,
Sleep.
but I definitely am aware of the fact that, like, I started the stream without a cup of coffee.
Oh my God. Go get a cup of coffee. I totally understand this. Last week, I had some weird like tinnitus going on. I've never had that before, but I had ringing in my ears for like a week. And then my allergies were also killing me, so I think it was like congestion and stuff causing this. But I felt awful and did the stream anyway. And I'm like looking back on it going, oh my God. Like I couldn't even like formulate sentences at all.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. My allergies get really bad because St. Louis has like just a disgusting amount of pollen. It's just horrible. And it's specifically bad right now because it's starting to warm up. So I had there was a stream one day, I think it was Monday. People were like, oh yeah, let's play, like you guys could play another round or something. Somebody, either one of the people in chat or one of my co-streamers was like, yeah, let's play another one. And I was like, actually guys, we're gonna have to cut it short today, which wasn't very short. It was still a very long stream. We played like a full game. And afterwards I had to be like, yeah, no, sorry, my face is killing me and I have to go lay down. Like, there's just no winning.
I want to say a couple comments here. Jason said, I worked last night 13 hours, but he didn't want to miss this, so he's here. And Mitch said that he had to get up early and head to the store, but nobody was there. So it was amazing. And Wesley's making fun of my allergies. Wesley is also in Indianapolis with you guys. So, Greg and Jacqueline, you work in a gas station though, right, West? So it'll take him a minute to answer that, but he works at a convenience store or a gas station or something like that. So still working, at last I knew. So man, you guys in the danger zone.
Yeah.
So not as bad as being a nurse, though. I mean, woof. 10th and German Church. So go talk to my friend West. If you guys do go out and get gas, go get it from West.
No, he's actually pretty close to us.
Yeah, he is a werewolf guy, and he used to work at our store, but then he moved down to Indianapolis. So he's a big hairy redhead. You can't miss him.
So speaking of werewolf, I've played an online werewolf recently for the first time ever, which was really interesting. I won as the wolf.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, I super won. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, you deserve a Grammy or an Oscar or whatever has to do with movies and acting for that performance." Like, people were going nuts and they want me to play again, and I'm like, "Well, it's not gonna work again." Like, I played very nice and like very sweet, and like no one's gonna believe me if I do that again.
Somebody just asked me if the store is still open due to COVID-19. No, the store is not open. I am streaming from my house. I know it may look like a board game store in here, but that's that's my personal collection. We don't want to talk about that. Anyway, there's a lot of games over there, but yeah, we are closed right now, but we are doing delivery. If you order on secretdoorgames.org and go to our shop, we don't have everything up there, but we do have a lot of things. I did feature our Greater Than games on our front page now, so in honor of having our guests today. And she's also added some links to their stores and stuff too, because we don't have a lot. So obviously we don't have any distribution really shipping. So it's kind of whatever we had laying around. We are delivering, and we are going to do some curbside, but the hours on those on the curbside hours are yet to be determined. So I have not posted those yet in the shipping options, but Secret DoorDash is a go. If you live in Elkhart, I will deliver it to you. There's a $3 charge, I think, for that, and then Elkhart County is a little bit more expensive, but we'll get it to you fast, and it'll be faster than U.S. Postal Service, so I promise, because we had some issues where U.S. Postal Service was sending our stuff to Pittsburgh, which we have had, and I guess it's happened quite a lot, but just a lot of people didn't say anything, so we are doing our best to take care of people that way. I've had some people that got their stuff literally the next day, and then some people that are like waiting 2 weeks to get their things. So it's incredibly frustrating, but what are you going to do? So we thought, hey, if you want something done right, we'll deliver it ourselves. So okay, catch up. Oh, Dan answered via text too, so.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are looking to order anything still and need to get in contact with us, please just send an email over to me or shoot me a Facebook message, and we can talk about that, because I know that it's hard, especially with everyone in distribution getting shut down. Your normal people probably are not operational, which is a big bummer. Yeah. But also, like, your sales have dropped off too. There's so many factors right now. Like,
wow. Well, Mitch is also in Indianapolis. We have a lot of friends in Indianapolis. He's in Indianapolis right now, and he said that his stuff went to Pittsburgh and then New Jersey. I'm like, oh boy. So, what are you gonna do? I'm not delivering to Indianapolis. I mean, I'm putting that out there, but sorry.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
It's too far.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it either.
No. Maybe after this is over, we'll make a weekend of it.
Be a nice, pleasant drive. There's hardly anybody on the roads.
I guess. Mitch gave me 3 thumbs downs for not delivering to Indianapolis. And Jason's trying to, like, totally get rid of social distancing and all. He's like, well, will you come in and play if I order something? Maybe in hazmat suit.
He knows.
So, all right, well, here's hoping for Gen Con. I would not bet on it. I don't know. San Francisco Comic-Con is when? In when does that normally take place? And they've already canceled. And
End of July.
Yeah, is like right before Gen Con.
yeah,
It's the week before Gen Con, I think, usually, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, it really depends, and I honestly don't blame Gen Con. I'm pretty sure Gen Con is waiting for the city of Indianapolis to officially say, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Because otherwise they're like super liable for like a bunch of things if they choose to cancel it on their own.
yeah. Well, that's the
which
same
is
thing that
crappy
happened
because,
with
like,
Gary Con and some of the other cons. Is like, okay, well, like I understand you're not trying to be totally militant about it, but it is like it's causing some like red tape problems with some of the bigger conventions, because then the places that they're liable to are like, well, but you didn't have to cancel. Well,
Exactly.
Well, we didn't have to, but people could die,
Yeah.
so, you know.
Well, and when you think about like things like, so South by Southwest canceled the week before it was supposed to be, which was like a good decision on their part.
Mm-hmm.
But how many of those people couldn't get their money back, couldn't get refunds?
Yeah.
How many of those businesses, like, which is not South by Southwest's problem. They definitely made the right call, but it's just so tricky because the trickle down economy of it all, where you know, if Gen Con announces before May 1st, when we like normally order our new art or this or that, like, good, because then we won't have ordered stuff that we won't be using. But
Wow.
if they cancel after that, then I have to figure out, can we get a refund? How do we get a refund? How
Yeah.
long can I put off ordering art to hear if they're going to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
all
and
those little tiny details.
It's like
that,
crazy.
Yeah.
I-
like,
Yeah.
it's those like little tiny $1,000 details that
I was totally not going to talk about COVID-19 today, so we're
sorry,
like,
guys.
but it just
It's
happened.
on everyone's mind.
It is, but and let's see. I'm catching up. Let's see. Wes says, I need to see my big blue bear. Will, you would be sad because he doesn't have any blue hair right now. And Mitch said that Origins and Gen Con are now the same weekend. Like, what? How? And
Origins is actually in October now.
okay.
Yeah, Origins moved.
Origins
They
moved to the. Sorry.
I was going to say they're doing an online thing that same weekend.
Okay. That
But
they're
the
doing an
actual-
online thing.
Event is in October now.
Yeah, they're doing an online thing. I think it's still in July, though, or June, when I normally.
Yeah, the online thing is going to be the same weekend that they were originally going to run.
Which would be like June 16th to something.
Right.
And then the other one is a week before Essen, which is the Essen Spiel in Germany. So most of the bigger companies are like, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
This is very tricky.
Well, I mean, conventions and any like live performances and stuff, man, that's rough on that industry, period.
Yeah.
And there's some good stuff that can come of it, but man, we're like struggling and like thinking about how we can reformat even play and stuff so that when we do reopen that we have the safest possible way to do that. It's like, okay, get plexiglass shields for everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's like what a lot of us are spending time thinking about is this happened now, but it also is like going to be an ongoing issue. Like, now that it's happened once, it could happen again. So now we all have to be prepared for what again looks like, and like how do we stay doing the things that we want to do, like going to conventions and like being social humans who get to go to a store and play games, while still remembering that, like, okay, this could shut down next week. So what happens to our business if it shuts down next week?
Well, and that's and like what was it? Oh God, what is the big company that it's not Tabletop. I keep on that does the conventions like Gary Con and some of the other conventions.
You're talking about like the PAX people, like Penny Arcade?
No, it's now I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, they said basically they do a lot of con organization for tabletop games, and like I guess they're not doing well at all. So it's like, you know, I mean, are we going to have conventions? Like, I mean, if anybody that knows me knows that I wasn't a big convention person ever anyway. But it's like a huge thing for a lot of my friends and almost all of my customers. So, it's like disheartening in a way. But the thing I do love is playing games with people at the store, and that we're not allowed to do right now. So, it's really hard for us. I mean, I have people at home to play with, but like Jason was saying, if he's at home alone, that's don't have as many options. So, and also like it's fun to play with different people. It's fun. That's like how you get to, man, board games are so great for getting to know how people are and just the chaos that you might encounter for having people that are just totally different personalities from yourself.
Agreed. It's a real good way to gauge like what types of people are sitting around the table, but in like a positive way, where you're like, you play like this, well, I play like that, so this is gonna work out great.
Yeah.
Mitch
said solo.
People of the nerd and gamer society. Yeah, it is really hard because it is a thing that I have talked to people about a lot. Is sometimes it's somebody's one social thing a year. Like they gear up for their one social event, and that is a convention, and then the rest of the year, like they do their little things, like hanging out with their friends. But if it's your one big social thing, that can be a lot to be taken away from you.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see all of the digital conventions that are popping up, all of the online conventions that people are trying to do. Curious how it's all working. We haven't taken part in one yet. Mostly because we have been focused on so many other things that anyone that's reached out, I'm like, that's a great idea. I'll see about it. And then by the time I'm like actually looking at it, I'm like, too late. Sorry, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But it's nice that people are trying to figure it out.
Yeah, digital conventions, Hoosier Gamers, we had to cancel our event. And we put our cancellation notice in 2 days before the mayor and governor of Indiana and Indianapolis respectively said, no, you can't have large gatherings. The hotel's coming after us. So I understand why Gen Con's going back.
Like,
but
seriously?
Yeah, seriously. The hotel is coming after us. And we're like, we didn't have a choice. But as far as digital conventions, we had, I think, 37 different games, 254 people actually in those games.
That's nice.
And it was kind of cool. We basically just set up a giant Discord and had 10 rooms and assigned your game is in this room. So it's kind of cool to go through the Discord and you would see lots of dice rolls and occasional memes and then dice rolls.
We have a dice roll. I don't understand any of this stuff, so like I'm the old fogey who doesn't understand any of this stuff. Nobody say okay boomer, okay? Anyway, but it's really hard for me, but I'm learning. So it's like we've been playing on Discord our D&D game on Tuesdays, and I'm like, hey, this isn't bad, really. I mean, it's theater of the mind, so that's kind of hard if you're doing any tactical stuff. But it's not too bad.
I also think it super depends on how strict your DM is.
Yeah, that's true.
With tactical stuff, there's stuff like Roll20 that you can do the tactical stuff in. And then we had pushback from a lot of our members saying, hey, this Discord thing is really cool. Can you leave it up? So we're looking into seeing what we can do to facilitate people just jumping into a game and having a bot say, okay, you want to have a game? Here's a channel. Here's a voice channel. There you go. Once the game's done, delete it.
I need to find my there it is. So Jason asked, is there any chance of a Switch version of Sentinels? And you answered that earlier, right? We are getting a Switch version of...
Yeah, I'm pulling up, I'm double checking that I'm not lying, but I feel like I'm super not lying. Yeah, okay, here it is. So it is coming out on these platforms over the next, I think, maybe year. Switch, PS4, and Xbox, those are the ones that aren't out yet that will be coming. And then PC is the one that is currently released. So it is coming to the Switch.
The
for
Switch!
The Freedom game.
That's amazing. I mean, I love, like, Xbox and everything, but the Switch is just incredibly convenient. So, yeah.
I don't have one. I think I need to get one.
Yeah, I think, Maggie, if you're not a video game person by nature, a Switch is a really good fit for you, because you can play it as a mobile device, or you can put it on your television if you want it to be, you know, bigger and stuff. So I think it's really cool, and there's a lot of great indie games on there too and stuff. So check it out. And Animal Crossing.
I'm using my keyboard again. I'm literally pulling up a Switch right now. I'm like,
yeah,
what's going on with those? People keep inviting me to stuff, so I got invited to there's a board game industry Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Where people are specifically talking about their stuff, and I'm like, you guys invited me to this thing without realizing that although it seems like I might have a Switch, I don't actually have a Switch.
Yeah. No, a Switch is probably a good fit for you though, but it's like, also you can do like Ring Fit Adventure. My dogs are talking. Ring Fit Adventure is really fun. I mean, it's not a board game, but it's really fun, and it's a workout game, and you actually like have a strap that you strap to your leg with the Joy-Cons, and then like a ring where you can work out, and there's a little story. It's kind of doopy, but it's fun.
I've actually heard of that one. My friend really enjoyed. She convinced her partner to work out using that. Like they were like, oh, I really want to work out. None of this stuff is fun, and they actually really liked that game.
Yeah.
So,
and when the quarantine
right
is right, when the quarantine is lifted, you have to play Overcooked, because it's just ridiculous and it's so much fun. Yeah, but that's definitely a game that you can't play by yourself. It just sucks by yourself. So, yeah, I got a lot more comments, and it is past 10 o'clock, and Maggie hasn't had any coffee. So I'm gonna wrap it up, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your insider info, and everybody watch their live streams. Maggie put the links in the Facebook. You put it in the Facebook Live?
Yeah, I also put it in Discord.
Okay, so she put it in both, because she's that good with her super clacky keyboard. And I have a couple of quick announcements for the store. One, nobody guessed our Magic the Gathering secret. We had a snippet of a card, and so I will repost that later. You guys got to figure it out. That's the only way to get the free stuff through the arena. And we are also doing, and Spirit Island is on this, we are also going to do 16-team single elimination. Actually, Jason Courier was the one who suggested this. But we are going to do the single elimination board game brackets. And we'll start announcing them on Wednesday, and I think we're doing like 3 on we're starting at 3 on Wednesday. Dan, feel free to chime in. I already forgot. I think we're doing 3 a day starting on Wednesday, and we'll put them as a poll, and you will choose one of them. And I will also put a link after this for the actual brackets. It kind of looks like this, and if you want to win some prizes, you can fill that out and put your projections out there, and I'll add more details to that later on in a different post. So thank you guys for joining us for Cooped Up with some of us had coffee, and Greater Than Games, and thanks to our Greater Than Games guests, Maggie, Greg, and Jacqueline. I can't wait to see you guys again.
Thanks for having us.
Likewise. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.